She stated, "My social media is my personal brand. You can't control it." After posting thirst traps, I said, "Understood." So I treated her like a brand I no longer wished to be associated with. Her brand took a hit when I tagged her in my moving out post. I, 28 male, need to get this off my chest while everything's still fresh. My now ex-girlfriend Valentina, 26, just learned that treating your relationship like a business transaction works both ways. We'd been together for 3 years, living together for the last 18 months in my apartment. Val worked as a lifestyle influencer, started small but grew to about 89K followers on Instagram. She made decent money from sponsorships, maybe $3 to $4 a month on average. Not quit your day job money, but respectable side income. The problem started about 6 months ago. Her content shifted from travel pics, food reviews, and workout routines to increasingly revealing photos. Look, I'm not some controlling prude, but when your girlfriend starts posting bikini shots in poses that belong on OnlyFans with captions like, "Your view could never," while you're literally sitting next to her, it hits different. Casually at first, "Hey babe, noticed your content's changing up lately." Her response? "It's called growth, Damien. My engagement is up 40%. Cool." Noted. The breaking point came 3 weeks ago. She posted this elaborate photo shoot, professional photographer, rented beach house, the works. Must have cost her $2,000 easy. The photos? Let's just say they were one wardrobe malfunction away from requiring an age verification. The comment section was exactly what you'd expect. Dudes shooting their shot, fire emojis, the usual thirsty parade. But here's the kicker. She was responding to them. Flirty replies, heart emojis, DM me, energy. When some fitness model with 2M followers commented goddess energy, she replied with, "Coming from you, that means everything. We should collab." I sat her down that evening. Tried to have an adult conversation. Me, Val, I'm uncomfortable with the direction your content is taking. It feels disrespectful to our relationship. Rolling her eyes. Here we go. Another insecure boyfriend threatened by my success. It's not about success, it's about boundaries. You're literally flirting with other men publicly. It's called engagement, Damien. This is my job. My social media is my personal brand. You can't control it. I'm not trying to control anything. I'm expressing how I feel as your partner. Well, maybe you need to evolve. This is 2024. Women can monetize their beauty without asking permission. If you can't handle me at my most empowered, you don't deserve me at all. I sat there for a solid minute, just processing. She actually said that unironically. Me, you're right. Your social media is your personal brand. I understand now. She looked surprised but pleased. Finally, see, was that so hard? That night, I started treating our relationship exactly like she'd framed it. A brand association. First thing I did, started documenting everything. Screenshots of her posts, the comments, her replies. Built myself a nice little folder, not for any nefarious purpose, just wanted receipts for when this inevitably blew up. Second, I stopped appearing in any of her content. She'd try to get couple selfies, I'd politely decline. Don't want to dilute your brand, I'd say. She thought I was being passive-aggressive at first, then seemed pleased I was respecting her vision. Third, I stopped engaging with her posts entirely. No likes, no comments, nothing. When her influencer friends came over for their fake candid photo shoots in my apartment, I'd just go to my room. Don't want to interfere with the content creation, became my standard line. She started getting irritated after a week. You're being weird, Damien. Just respecting your brand autonomy, babe. Like you asked. 2 weeks in, she posted this elaborate lingerie haul try-on. I'm talking sheer everything, strategic hand placement being the only thing keeping it Instagram legal. Caption. Confidence is the best outfit. What's your favorite? That's when I made my move, I commented. First time in 2 weeks, but not what she expected. As a consumer, I've decided to discontinue my subscription to this brand. The product has deviated too far from what was originally advertised. Moving out this weekend, apartment's yours till the lease ends next month. Then I tagged her. The comment blew up instantly. Her followers were confused, asking for context. Some of her thirsty fanboys were celebrating. Her influencer friends were DMing her frantically. Within an hour, she was home. Full panic mode. Val, what the hell, Damien? Delete that comment now. Me, why? It's just engagement. Isn't that what you wanted? You're sabotaging my career. This is psychotic. I'm simply discontinuing our brand partnership. You said it yourself. This is business, right? We're in a relationship. Me? Were. Past tense. And according to you, it was also a brand association. I'm no longer interested in being associated with this type of brand. She went nuclear, screaming about how I was destroying everything she'd built, how her sponsors would see this, how I was being abusive by weaponizing her audience against her. Me? I haven't weaponized anything. I made a factual statement about ending our relationship on a public platform where you conduct your business. If that damages your brand, maybe you should reconsider what your brand represents. She tried everything. Tears, threats, even attempted seduction. Really showed her hand there. Nothing worked. I'd already arranged to stay with my buddy James and had movers scheduled for Saturday. The comment stayed up. Last I checked, it had 8.7K likes and 2.3K replies. Her follower count dropped by about 3K in 48 hours. Moved out yesterday. Clean break. She kept texting, oscillating between rage and desperation. Blocked her on everything except email. Need that for any apartment-related issues. The pettiest part? I posted my own Instagram story from James' place. Just a simple photo of my gaming setup in the new room with the caption, "Upgraded to a drama-free environment." Feeling good about this rebrand. And yes, I tagged her location at the apartment. Her influencer friends are calling me toxic. My friends are calling me a legend. I'm just calling myself single. Update 1. Yo, wasn't expecting this much attention. Thanks for the support and the reality checks from those who think I went too far. Fair enough, but wait till you hear what's happened since. So Val's been in full damage control mode. She posted this long Instagram story about toxic masculinity and how her ex, me, couldn't handle a successful woman. Painted herself as a victim of emotional manipulation. The works. Plot twist though. I kept those screenshots, remember? Her narrative started falling apart when some of her own followers began asking questions. See, Val forgot that the internet has receipts too. People started pulling up her old posts from just months ago. Couple photos, anniversary celebrations, me appearing in her vlogs. The contrast with her recent content was stark. Then someone found my comment, still up BTW, and connected the dots. A few brave souls started commenting things like, "So you went from posting couple goals to thirst traps and he's the toxic one." Val tried to delete these comments, but they kept coming. The dam was breaking. Yesterday, she made her biggest mistake yet. She went nuclear and posted a full My Truth video. 43 minutes of her crying, claiming I was controlling, jealous, that I tried to dim her light. She even said I was financially manipulating her by moving out suddenly. That last bit made me laugh. Financially manipulating? I paid 70% of the rent because I made more. Never asked for a penny back. The apartment was in my name, and I gave her a full month to figure things out. But here's where it gets juicy. Her brand manager, yes, she has one now, some dude named Philippe, reached out to me through LinkedIn. LinkedIn, y'all. Philippe. Damien, I represent Valentina's business interests. Your recent actions have caused significant damage to her brand partnerships. 2 sponsors have already pulled out. I strongly suggest we find a mutually beneficial resolution. No, you could be held liable for intentional interference with business relations. Cool. Have your lawyer call my lawyer. I don't have a lawyer, but homie didn't need to know that. Then came the text from Val's bestie, Natasha. Natasha, actually disgusting. Val is crying every day. She lost the Fashion Nova deal because of her stunt. That's 10K she needed for rent. Hope her happy destroying a woman's career because our ego couldn't handle her glow up. She destroyed her own career by turning our relationship into content. I just provided an honest review of the product. She's gonna be homeless, Damien. Doesn't that mean anything to you? She has 89K followers and made 4K a month. She'll figure it out. That's what empowered boss babes do, right? A piece of shit. But wait, there's more. This morning I woke up to 73 missed calls. Not from Val, still blocked, but from random numbers. Turns out she posted my phone number in a close friend story, claiming I was threatening to release intimate content if she didn't pay me. Complete fabrication. We never even made that kind of content. and I would never do something like that, even if we had. I screenshotted everything, went straight to the police station, and filed a harassment report. They took it seriously, especially the false accusations part. Got a case number and everything. Then I did something maybe a bit extra, but I was done. I made my Instagram public and posted a single photo, just a screenshot of the police report number with the caption, "False accusations of revenge porn, doxing, harassment campaigns. Some brands really don't handle negative reviews well. PSA, document everything, folks. You never know when someone's empowerment becomes your legal problem." And yes, I tagged her. Her follower count is now at 81K and dropping. The comment sections on her posts are brutal. Turns out authenticity matters, and her audience doesn't appreciate being lied to. Philippe, the brand manager, sent another message. "This is defamation. Cease immediately." Me. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation claims. Tell Valentina to stop calling me, stop lying about me, and stop harassing me, or the next post includes the screenshots of her actual messages versus what she's claiming publicly. Radio silence since then. James, roommate, thinks I should just let it die now. Maybe he's right, but she turned our relationship into content, so why shouldn't its end be content too? Her latest post? A motivational quote about rising above negativity, with comments turned off. Her brand's evolving, alright, just not in the direction she planned. Update 2, final update because I'm ready to close this chapter. So the legal threats kept coming. Philippe apparently wasn't bluffing. I got served with an actual cease and desist letter from some law firm. Scary letterhead, lots of big words, demanding I remove all posts and pay 50K in damages for tortious interference with business relations. Here's the thing about hiring lawyers to send scary letters. It only works if the other person did something actually wrong. I took the letter to an actual lawyer, my cousin's husband, but still. He laughed, like actually laughed, told me to send back a simple response. No wrongdoing committed. Client exercised free speech regarding ended relationship. Please cease harassment, or will countersue for defamation regarding false revenge porn allegations. Cost me $300 for him to write that letter. Best money I ever spent. Meanwhile, Val's empire was crumbling. Lost another 3 sponsors. Her engagement rate tanked because half her comments were calling her out. She tried pivoting to healing journey content, but nobody was buying it. Then, she did something I didn't see coming. She showed up at James' place. Not to reconcile. Oh no. She came with a business proposal. "Val, we could turn this into content, a public reconciliation. The views would be insane. We split everything 50-50. I just stared at her. She was serious. Think about it. Drama sells. We've already got everyone's attention. A few couples therapy videos, some emotional reunions posts, we could make bank. You want to fake getting back together for content? Not fake. We could actually try again, but document it. It's perfect. Redemption arc, love conquering ego, all that. Valentina, you accused me of threatening revenge porn. You posted my phone number to get people to harass me. Content strategy, babe. You get it now, right? Everything's content. Even this conversation could be a podcast episode. That's when it hit me. She wasn't evil. She wasn't even manipulative in the traditional sense. She just completely lost the ability to separate real life from content. Everything was performance to her. Even our relationship had probably been content for longer than I realized. Me, I'm good. Please leave. Val, you're making a mistake. This could launch both our careers. I'm an accountant, Val. I don't need a career in whatever this is. She left, but not before taking a selfie outside James' house. Posted it with, "Choosing peace over profit." The grand finale came 3 days ago. Val posted a life update YouTube video, 47 minutes of her taking accountability, while somehow still making herself the victim. The production value was insane. Multiple camera angles, B-roll footage, emotional music. She must have spent the last of her savings on it. The video backfired spectacularly. Why? Because someone in the comments linked to a TikTok that Natasha had posted 2 weeks earlier. In it, Natasha was drunk, ranting about how Val had planned the whole breakup for content and was mad it didn't go according to script. Val's own best friend accidentally confirmed that she'd been planning to use our breakup as a rebrand opportunity. She just didn't expect me to beat her to the punch. Last I checked, She's down to 72K followers. Had to move back with her parents. Still posting, but the desperation is obvious. Every post has ads sponsored, even for things that clearly aren't sponsored. Philippe unfollowed her. That made me laugh. As for me, I'm good. Better than good, actually. Started dating this girl from my climbing gym. She has exactly 200 Instagram followers and posts maybe once a month. It's refreshing. Oh, and the best part? Val's mom reached out to apologize for her daughter's behavior. Apparently, Val had told her family I was abusive and controlling, but her mom saw the videos and posts and pieced together the real story. She said, "I'm sorry my daughter turned into someone I don't recognize. You didn't deserve that." Weirdly healing, not gonna lie. So that's it. Val wanted to build her brand on our relationship's grave. Instead, she buried her career in it. I didn't set out to destroy her influence. I just refused to be a supporting character in her performance. To anyone dealing with similar stuff, document everything, know your worth, and remember, when someone tells you they see your relationship as a business transaction, believe them. Then treat it accordingly. Time to log off and live my actual life. Peace out. Final update. Wasn't gonna update again, but something wild happened that deserves to be documented. Remember how I said I was done? Well, the universe had other plans. Last week, I got an email from a production company. They wanted to interview me for a documentary about toxic influencer culture and its impact on relationships. Offered me $5 for a 2-hour interview. The irony wasn't lost on me. After everything, I was being offered money to turn our story into content. I almost deleted it. Then I saw the production company's name and Googled them. Legit, Emmy-winning documentary makers. They'd done exposés on MLMs, dating app algorithms, crypto scams, serious journalism. So I responded. Turns out, our story had become something of a case study in certain corners of the internet. They weren't interested in drama. They wanted to explore how social media monetization destroys authentic relationships. I agreed, but with conditions. No sensationalism. Val's face name gets blurred if they use her content, and I get to review my segments before broadcast. During the interview, they showed me something that floored me. Val's story had been picked up by multiple drama channels. Combined views? Over 10 million. She'd achieved viral fame, just not how she planned. The interviewer asked if I felt responsible for her career imploding. She built her brand on authenticity while living a performance. I just pulled back the curtain. The audience decided what to do with that information. They also interviewed other influencers, relationship experts, and surprisingly, Natasha. She'd agreed to talk after Val apparently screwed her over. Something about Val owing her $3K and refusing to pay because exposure is payment. The documentary airs next month. They titled it Manufactured Love When Relationships Become Content. Val found out about it, started posting about legal action, and telling her side. Nobody cared. She's at 31K followers now, barely pulling 1K likes per post. The comments are mostly bots. She started a podcast called Cancelled But Confident. It has 47 downloads total. I know because she made the mistake of making the stats public. Meanwhile, I'm still with climbing gym girl. Her name's Rebecca. She watched Val's original My Truth video with me last night. Her reaction? Wait, she really thought filming your breakup would save her career? That's genuinely sad. It is sad. Val's still out there, posting into the void, waiting for her comeback moment. Still turning every life event into content. Still unable to distinguish between authentic existence and performance. But here's what I learned. When someone tells you they see everything as content, they're warning you that nothing is real to them. Not your pain, not your joy, not your relationship. You're just material. I don't hate Val. I pity her. She's trapped in a prison of her own making, performing for an audience that's already left the theater. My comment is still up on her lingerie post, by the way. 47K likes now. The replies have become a support group for people who've dated influencers. Funny how that worked out. Anyway, that's really it. Documentary airs next month. Rebecca and I are planning a camping trip that weekend. No phones, no photos, no content. Just actual life. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction. It's letting someone face the natural consequences of their choices while you move forward. Val wanted to be a brand. She succeeded. Just became one nobody wants to buy. She said, "You're too sensitive. I was just being honest," after crushing my feelings in front of her friends. I said, "You're right, I am sensitive to disrespect," and left. 2 hours later, she called me 20 times asking why her cards are not working. I, 27 male, was sitting at brunch with my girlfriend Tessa, 26, and her friends when she decided to publicly humiliate me. We'd been together for 3 years, living together for 1. It started innocently enough. Her friend Bree asked about our anniversary plans next month. I'd been excited about this, had secretly booked a weekend getaway to a vineyard she'd mentioned wanting to visit. "Oh, Colton's probably planning something super basic," Tessa laughed, sipping her mimosa. "Last year, he got me a handwritten letter. Like, cute, but I can't post a letter on Instagram, you know?" Her friends giggled. I felt my stomach tighten but stayed quiet. Bree: "Ah, that's actually sweet though." Tessa: "Sweet? Girl, I showed him the Cartier bracelet I wanted for months. He got me. Words on paper. I mean, at least try, right?" Morgan, another friend: "Men never listen. That's why I just buy myself nice things." "Exactly. Colton thinks cooking dinner at home is romantic. Sir, I can get pasta anywhere." They all laughed. I sat there remembering how she'd cried happy tears at that letter, how she'd said the homemade dinners were her favorite dates. "The vineyard weekend should be nice," I said quietly, deciding to reveal the surprise since she clearly wasn't appreciating anything anyway. Tessa rolled her eyes. "A vineyard? Babe, that's so predictable. Every basic couple does wine country." Bree looked uncomfortable. "I think that sounds lovely." "You would. Remember when Derek took you to that cabin? You thought that was romantic too." Now she was insulting her friend's relationship. Classic Tessa. Tear everyone down to build herself up. Morgan changed the subject, but Tessa wasn't done. She started listing my failures. How I wore the same boring clothes, how I played video games instead of taking her to clubs, how I saved money instead of living life, how I was too emotional about my mom's cancer diagnosis last year. That last one hit different. The table went quiet. "Tessa," Bree said softly, "that's kind of harsh." Tessa waved her hand. "What? I'm just being honest. He knows I keep it real. Right, babe?" I looked at her, really looked at her. Designer sunglasses I'd bought, nails done on my credit card, sitting there trash-talking me to people who were supposed to be our friends. "You're absolutely right," I said, standing up. "You're just being honest." She smiled, thinking she'd won. "See? He gets it. And honestly," I continued, "you're being disrespectful, and I'm too sensitive to tolerate disrespect." Her smile faltered. "Babe, sit down, you're embarrassing yourself." "No, I'm removing myself from an embarrassing situation. Enjoy your brunch." I put cash on the table for my meal and walked out. Behind me, I heard Tessa laugh nervously. "He'll be back, he's just being dramatic." Narrator: He would not, in fact, be back. I went straight home and started evaluating our situation. See, Tessa had champagne taste on my beer budget salary. She worked part-time at a boutique, maybe brought in $1,200 a month. I made decent money as a software developer and somehow had become responsible for rent. Her car payment, she picked it, I paid. Her credit cards, authorized user on 3 of mine. Her phone bill, streaming services, pretty much everything except her shopping addiction. Time to fix that. First, called my credit card companies, removed her as authorized user on all 3 cards. Immediate effect. Second, logged into Verizon, removed her line from my plan. She could get her own. Third, changed all streaming passwords. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, all of it. Fourth, went to the bank. She wasn't on my accounts, but I changed my login info just in case. Took maybe 45 minutes total. Then I sat back and waited. The first call came at 1:47 p.m. I was gaming with my buddy Kai when my phone started buzzing. "Tessa." I let it ring. The text started. "My card got declined at Sephora. What's going on? Hello? This isn't funny. Colton, pick up your phone now. 20 missed calls in an hour." Then her friend started. "Bree, hey, Tessa's freaking out. What happened?" Me, "She said I was too sensitive." Turns out she was right. Look, she was wrong for what she said, but nothing. I'm done subsidizing someone who disrespects me publicly. Morgan, you really canceled her cards over brunch conversation? I removed her from my cards, yes. That's financial abuse. No, financial abuse is using someone's money while publicly humiliating them. What I did is called boundaries. By 4 p.m., Tessa was home, stormed in like a hurricane. What did you do? Took your advice. I'm too sensitive, so I removed myself from situations that hurt my feelings. Like paying for someone who thinks I'm basic. You canceled my phone? I couldn't even Uber home. Bree had to pay. Sounds like you have a good friend there. Maybe don't insult her boyfriend next time. She was pacing now, designer heels clicking on the floor I paid for. You can't just cut me off. I have a facial appointment tomorrow. I have plans this weekend. Better figure that out then. I can't afford that. She stopped, caught herself admitting she couldn't afford her lifestyle. Can't afford what, Tessa? The lifestyle you mock me for funding? Her face went through several emotions: anger, panic, calculation. Then she tried manipulation. Baby, I'm sorry. I was just joking around. You know how I get with the girls. I do know, that's the problem. I'll make it up to you. Tonight, whatever you want. What I want is for you to move out. Dead silence. You're taking me out? Over brunch? Over 3 years of disrespect that culminated at brunch. You have 30 days, legally required to give you that. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my sensitive, basic problem anymore. She stood there, mouth open, processing that I was serious. Then came the tears. But I'd seen this performance before. The tears that only came when her comfort was threatened, never when she hurt others. You're really doing this? After everything? After everything is exactly why I'm doing this. That was 3 hours ago. She's locked herself in the bedroom, calling everyone she knows. I can hear her spinning the story. I'm abusive, controlling, manipulative. Cut her off for no reason. But Bree was at that brunch. She heard everything. The truth has a way of coming out. My phone's been quiet for the last hour. She's probably realizing her shopping trip tomorrow isn't happening. Her weekend plans are canceled. Her whole lifestyle just went poof. And me? I'm sitting here, eating leftover pasta from one of those boring dinners she complained about, feeling lighter than I have in years. She was right about one thing. I am too sensitive to keep paying for my own disrespect. Update coming soon. Something tells me this is just the beginning. Update 1. 48 hours later. The entitlement escalation has been exactly what you'd expect from someone who just lost their meal ticket. Day 1. The reality check. The morning after, Tessa emerged from the bedroom dressed for work. Designer outfit, full face of makeup. Acted like nothing happened. I need gas money, she said, not looking at me. No. How am I supposed to get to work? The same way everyone else without a sugar daddy does. Figure it out. She slammed the door so hard the pictures shook. 20 minutes later, text started. Car won't start. Battery dead, I need AAA. Except I knew something she'd forgotten. I'd been paying for the AAA membership too. Canceled that along with everything else. Can't help you. Are you serious right now? She missed her shift. Her manager Diane called me. I was still her emergency contact. Told her Tessa no longer lived here and to please update their records. By that evening, Tessa went full victim mode on Instagram. Posted a series of stories. When you realize you were dating a narcissist. Financial abuse is real, ladies. Starting over from nothing, but at least I'm free. The comments were mixed. Her shallow friends bought it. But remember Bree? She'd apparently had enough. Bree commented, "Girl, you literally humiliated him at brunch for buying you handwritten letters instead of Cartier. This ain't it." Tessa deleted the comment. Bree posted her own story. When people rewrite history and you were literally there with the eye roll emoji. The group chat imploded. Screenshots started surfacing. Turns out I wasn't Tessa's first victim. Her ex, Nathan, had gone through the same thing. Bree's boyfriend, Derek, reached out to me. "Bro, Nathan wants your number, says he's been waiting 3 years to watch karma catch up." The family intervention. Day 2, Tessa's mom, Paula, called me. We'd always been cool. "Colton, honey, what's going on? Tessa says you've gone crazy." "Did she tell you what happened at brunch?" "She said she made a little joke and you overreacted." I sent Paula screenshots of Tessa's greatest hits from our text history. Calling my promotion cute but asking when I'd make real money. Saying my dad's truck driver job was embarrassing. Complaining that my birthday gift to her was only $500. Paula was quiet for a long moment. I didn't raise her to be this way. I know Paula. She's always been materialistic, but this is cruel. That's why I'm done. Paula sighed. I understand. I'll talk to her about coming home. Tessa panicked about the 30-day notice and started hunting for roommates on Facebook. Posted in every group. Urgent. Professional female seeking roommate in upscale area. Must be clean, quiet, and respectful. No drama. The responses were hilarious. What's your budget? Negotiable, aka broke. Do you have first, last / deposit? Payment plans available? Definitely broke. What do you do for work? Fashion retail specialist, part-time at Forever 21. Someone recognized her from her financial abuse posts and commented, "Didn't you just post about starting over from nothing? How you gonna pay rent?" Post deleted within minutes. This is where it gets wild. By evening of day 2, Tessa was already soft launching a new relationship. Posted a mysterious man's hand holding a coffee cup. Sometimes angels come when you need them most. The hand had a distinctive tattoo. My buddy Kai recognized it immediately. Yo bro, that's Tyler from the gym. Dude's a personal trainer who lives with 4 roommates and drives a 2003 Honda. She went from software developer to struggling personal trainer in 48 hours. The math wasn't mathing. Here's what Tessa didn't realize. I'd been building her credit for 2 years. She was an authorized user on my cards, never missed a payment because I handled everything. Her score was decent purely because of me. She applied for her own credit card, denied. Applied for a phone plan, needed a $400 deposit she didn't have. Tried to finance a laptop, denied. Welcome to the real world where credit scores matter and Instagram followers don't pay bills. The desperation texts. Last night from a friend's phone. Colton, please. I know I messed up. I was showing off for my friends. You know the real me. The girl who cried at your letter, who loves your cooking. Please don't throw us away. I'll go to therapy. I'll apologize publicly. I'll do anything. I love you. Then an hour later, when I didn't respond, fine, be petty. You'll regret this when I'm successful and you're still basic. The whiplash gave me whiplash. The work drama. Remember Diane, her manager, called me again today. I'm sorry to bother you, but Tessa listed you as a reference for an apartment. What should I say? The truth. She lived here rent-free for a year and contributed nothing financially. Oh my, that's not what she told them. What did she tell them? That she paid half of everything and you're withholding her deposit. There's no deposit to withhold. She never paid rent. Diane paused. Colton, between us? She's about to be let go anyway. Keeps taking product home without paying. Thought you should know since she used you as a reference. The universe really said, let's speedrun karma with this one. Current status, still posting about her glow-up journey despite being homeless in 28 days. Lost her job, found out this morning. Gym trainer Tyler already ghosting her. Kai has the tea. Parents offered to let her move home if she gets therapy. Bree started a group chat without her called Recovery from Tessa. Meanwhile, I saved $2,400 this month alone from not funding her lifestyle. Actually enjoyed cooking dinner without criticism. Slept better than I have in years. Cancelled the Vineyard weekend and booked a boys' trip instead. Plot twist. The Vineyard called to confirm my cancellation and mentioned they were sorry to hear the proposal package wouldn't be needed. Yeah, I'd been planning to propose. Had bought the ring and everything. Thank God for that brunch. The ring return appointment is tomorrow. Can't wait to get that $8,000 back. More updates coming. Tessa just discovered she needs rental history to get her own place. Update 2, 1 week later. The spiral downward hit terminal velocity this week. When reality hit that she couldn't just charm her way into another free ride, Tessa's true colors went from red flags to full emergency sirens. Went to return the engagement ring. The jeweler Harold remembered me from my multiple visits planning the perfect ring to Tessa's exact specifications. Cold feet? He asked sympathetically. More like dodged a bullet. She publicly humiliated me for not buying her expensive enough gifts. Harold's face changed. Wait, is this the same young lady who came in last month asking about upgrades to a ring she hadn't seen yet? My blood went cold. What? He pulled up their visitor log. Tessa had come in with Morgan, pointed out my holds, and asked about replacing the 1.5 carat center stone with something more substantial. She'd actually priced out changing my proposal ring before I'd even proposed. Harold, I wondered why she was so familiar with a ring that hadn't been purchased. Now it makes sense. He processed my full refund and threw in a bottle of champagne. For dodging that bullet, son? Tessa's firing became official. Diane called to warn me. She's telling people you got her fired by sabotaging her. Just wanted you to know she's making threats about suing you. For what? Defamation, interference with employment, emotional distress. She's got a whole list. Based on nothing, but she's convinced some online lawyer to send scary letters. Sure enough, got an email from legaleagle788@gmail.com demanding $50,000 in damages or they'd pursue all available legal options. I forwarded it to my cousin who's an actual lawyer. His response: LMAO, this is written in Comic Sans. No legitimate lawyer uses Gmail. Also, demanding money via email is borderline extortion. Want me to respond? Yes I did. Tessa started apartment hunting in earnest. Problem: she needed proof of income, just lost her job, rental history, none, and references. Burned all bridges. She convinced Tyler the trainer to go to viewings with her, pretending they were a couple. I know, because Tyler's roommate James works with me. James? Bro, your ex is insane. She told the landlord that Tyler makes 6 figures as a trainer. He makes like $30. She also said she's a fashion executive between positions. The landlord Googled her on the spot and found her Instagram saying she's a victim of financial abuse. They got rejected from 6 places in 3 days. Paula called again, this time with Tessa's dad, Robert, on speaker. Son, we need to talk about Tessa. I'm listening. She's telling everyone you're abusive. We know that's not true, but she's our daughter. What he's trying to say is, we'll pay you to take her back. I nearly choked. Excuse me? She can't come home. Last time she lived with us, she maxed out my Macy's card and sold Robert's golf clubs while we were on vacation. We can't do that again. We'll pay her portion of rent directly to you, $1,000 a month. Just let her move back in. You want to pay me to date your daughter? Paula, we want to pay you to house her while she gets therapy, please. No amount of money is worth my self-respect. I'm sorry. Robert sighed. Can't blame you for trying, honey. The boy's got sense. Desperate times, desperate measures. Tessa joined a sugar baby website. Bree screenshot it and sent it to the recovery group chat. Her profile: sophisticated fashion expert seeking generous gentleman who appreciates the finer things, temporarily between luxury accommodations, Cartier and Chanel appreciated. The responses per her public Twitter rants: guys offering $50 for coffee dates. Married men wanting discretion, she wanted Instagram official. One guy who said he'd pay her rent if she also cooked and cleaned. Her tweet: the audacity of men thinking I'm a maid. I'm a luxury experience. Someone replied, ma'am, you're homeless in 21 days. Maybe lower the luxury bar. Our friend group completely split. Team Tessa consisted of Morgan, and that's it. Even the shallow friends could see through her act. Team Reality included Bree, president of the recovery chat, Derek, Bree's boyfriend, who Tessa insulted, Kai, my gaming buddy, James, Tyler's roommate, Nathan, her ex who warned me years ago, even Diane from her work. The group chat was fire. Nathan shared his Tessa stories. She'd convinced him to co-sign a car, then stop making payments. Told his family he was abusive when he cut her off. Keyed his car when he started dating someone new. Bree added hers. Tessa borrowed $500 for emergency surgery, was actually Botox. Spread rumors that Bree's engagement ring was fake. Tried to seduce Derek as a test of his loyalty. I was just the latest victim in a long pattern. Yesterday, I got a call from a local hospital. Tessa was there and had listed me as her emergency contact. Rushed over thinking something serious happened. Found her in the ER, getting treated for a panic attack. When she saw me, she immediately perked up. Baby, you came. I knew you still cared. The hospital called. What happened? I've been so stressed without you. The doctor says I need stability in my life. This separation is literally killing me. The doctor looked tired. Ma'am, you had a panic attack. You're not dying, but I could die from stress. Colton, please, I need you. I turned to the doctor. Is she medically cleared? Yes, she's fine to leave. Great. Please remove me as her emergency contact. Left her there. She had to call Morgan for a ride. Morgan, who drives a 2005 Corolla and couldn't afford the gas to come get her. As of today, 21 days until she's out. 0 job prospects. The Google lawyer scared off employers. 0 apartments approved. $73 in her bank account. overdraft fees. One remaining friend, Morgan, barely. 47 unread texts to me from various numbers. One restraining order paperwork started, by me. Meanwhile, I'm thriving, paid off my credit card with the ring refund, booked an international trip with the money I'm saving, started therapy to process why I accepted this treatment, joined a cooking class, turns out my basic cooking just needed appreciation, downloaded dating apps but taking it slow. The best part? Ran into Harold, the jeweler, at a coffee shop. He was with his daughter, who's a lawyer, a real lawyer. She offered to handle Tessa's legal threats pro bono just for the entertainment value. Anyone who tries to upgrade an engagement ring before receiving it deserves whatever karma delivers, she said. Final update coming soon. Tessa has 2 weeks to find somewhere to live, and Tyler just started dating someone new. Final update. 1 month later. The last 2 weeks were a masterclass in what happens when an entitled person faces actual consequences for the first time in their life. Remember Tyler, the gym trainer angel, who was going to save her? Well, he started dating Samantha, a nurse who actually has her life together. Tessa found out via Instagram when Sam posted them at dinner. At the same restaurant Tessa had tagged wanting to go to, but Colton was too cheap. Tessa's meltdown was public and spectacular. Commented on the post, "Enjoy my sloppy seconds, sis. He can't afford that place anyway." Sam responded, "I paid, because I have a job, and he's nobody's seconds, you never even dated. He told me everything." Plot twist. Tyler had screenshot everything. Tessa sliding into his DMs talking about her abusive ex, me, while simultaneously begging him to pretend to be her boyfriend for apartment viewings. He'd sent them all to Sam as a warning. Tyler himself commented, "You asked me to lie to landlords. When I said no, you called me a broke loser. Please stop telling people we dated." The post went mini viral in our city. Tessa deleted her account within hours. With 1 week left, Tessa still had nowhere to go. Her parents held firm on therapy first. Morgan's couch was off limits after Tessa called her poor and pathetic, and even the sketchy Craigslist rooms wanted first month plus deposit. She tried one last manipulation, showed up with a U-Haul and 8 random people. "These are my friends here to help me move," she announced. I recognized none of them. Turns out she'd hired day laborers from outside Home Depot, told them it was her apartment, and she needed help reclaiming her belongings. "Tessa, none of this is yours. We live together. Half of everything is mine." "Name one thing you purchased." She looked around frantically, pointed at the TV. "That TV. Best Buy receipt from 2021 says otherwise. The couch. IKEA delivery to my name paid with my card. The dishes. Wedding gift from my aunt." The workers looked uncomfortable. One older guy stepped forward. "Ma'am, you said this was your place and your ex wouldn't leave." "It is my place. He's stealing from me." I showed him the lease. My name only. His whole crew left immediately, but not before one muttered crazy in Spanish. Tessa had prepaid them $200 she didn't have. Bounce check incoming. She called the cops. Again. This time claiming domestic violence and theft. 2 officers showed up, already looking tired. "Sir, we need to ask you some questions." "Sure, here's the lease, here's the 30-day notice I gave her, here's documentation of all my belongings, and here's my lawyer's card." They reviewed everything, then turned to Tessa. "Ma'am, filing a false police report is a crime. It's not false, he's abusing me, he took away my whole life." "Did he hit you?" "No, but..." "Threaten you?" "No, but..." "Did he remove you from his credit cards and phone plan?" "Yes, that's financial abuse." The older cop sighed. "Ma'am, that's not abuse. That's called breaking up. You need to leave now or we'll arrest you for trespassing." She left, but not before screaming that I'd regret this and she'd ruin my life. With 48 hours left, Tessa finally found a place. Some sketchy weekly rental that definitely wasn't legal. Cash only, no questions asked. Perfect for someone with no job, no credit, and no references. She showed up with Morgan and Morgan's boyfriend to get her stuff. Except, what stuff? "Where are my things?" she demanded. "What things? Everything here is mine. My clothes, my shoes, my makeup." "Oh, that stuff? It's in storage unit 247. Here's the key. You have 30 days to get it." "Storage? You put my belongings in storage? I legally stored abandoned property. You're welcome." The storage place was 40 minutes away. The unit was $50 a month. She had negative money. Morgan's boyfriend looked at me with respect. Bro, that's cold. Then to Morgan, take notes. This is what happens when you date entitled people. Morgan dumped him on the spot. Tessa now had no ride to the storage unit, created a new Instagram just to post one last shot at me. A long caption about narcissistic exes and surviving abuse with a selfie in her new room. Eagle-eyed followers noticed. Mattress on the floor, water stains on the ceiling, bars on the windows, what looked suspiciously like roaches in the background. Comments were brutal, from penthouse to trap house. This what happens when you fumble a software developer. Shoulda appreciated those handwritten letters. But the killing blow came from Nathan, her ex before me. Fun fact, she did this exact same thing to me 3 years ago. Called me basic, publicly humiliated me, then cried abuse when I left. Some people never learn. Congrats on your freedom, @ColtonTech. I didn't respond, just liked his comment. Last week, ran into Bree and Derek at a restaurant. They were at the same brunch spot where everything went down, invited me to join them. How are you doing? Bree asked, genuinely concerned. Best I've been in years, honestly. We feel so bad. We should have said something sooner about how she treated you. You said something when it mattered. That's enough. Derek raised his glass. To dodging bullets and recognizing red flags. We toasted. Then Bree showed me something on her phone. Tessa had applied to work at the boutique Bree manages. She listed you as a reference again. Bree laughed. The audacity. What'd you tell them? The truth. That she publicly humiliated her boyfriend for not buying expensive gifts while he was secretly planning to propose. They were unimpressed. As of today, 1 month later, Tessa, living in a sketchy weekly rental with 3 roommates she met on Craigslist. Working at a call center, only job that didn't check references. Posted about starting a lifestyle coaching business, 0 clients. Her storage unit got auctioned, she never paid. Begging Morgan for money daily, Morgan blocked her. DMing random men on Instagram asking them to invest in her potential. Me, thriving in my peaceful drama-free apartment. Started dating Lauren, a teacher who thinks handwritten letters are romantic. Got another promotion, turns out I work better without constant criticism. Took that international trip, solo, loved it. In therapy, working on why I accepted poor treatment for so long. Genuinely happy for the first time in years. Yesterday, from yet another new number. Colton, I know you hate me, but I need you to know I'm sorry. I didn't appreciate what I had. You were the best thing in my life, and I destroyed it for Instagram likes and fake friends. I'm in therapy now, court-ordered after the false police report. I see how toxic I was. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I understand now. You deserved better. I didn't respond, but I did notice she sent it from a flip phone. Guess the iPhone got cut off too. Bree sent me a screenshot last night. Tessa had messaged her. Can you ask Colton if he still has that handwritten letter? I want to remember when someone actually loved me. The audacity. The letter she mocked publicly. The letter that represented everything she called basic and unpostable. I still have it. Framed in my closet, actually. A reminder of who I was before I lost myself trying to be enough for someone who didn't value authentic love. But she'll never know that. Lessons learned. 1. When someone publicly disrespects you, believe that's who they are. 2. Keeping it real is usually code for I have no filter or empathy. 3. Financial abuse isn't removing someone from your accounts. 4. The right person will appreciate your efforts, not mock them. 5. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone experience life without your support. To everyone who said I was too harsh, where would I be if I'd stayed? Engaged to someone who priced out upgrades to a ring she hadn't received yet. Married to someone who thought my dying mother was too emotional. Lauren and I are cooking dinner together tonight. She says my pasta is restaurant quality. Doesn't need to post it on Instagram, just appreciates sharing a meal with someone who respects her. That's growth. That's peace. That's what I should have always demanded. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. Remember, you're not too sensitive for demanding respect. You're just with the wrong person. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a reservation at a nice restaurant with someone who won't call it basic just because it's not Michelin starred. Life's good when you stop funding your own disrespect. She said, you're too poor for me anyway. When I asked about her expensive new gifts from friends, I said, "Good news," and had her bank account frozen for suspicious activity. Turns out sugar daddy money gets flagged by the IRS. Who knew? I, 29 male, noticed the Cartier bracelet first, then the Balenciaga bag, then the subtle changes, fresh manicures every week, lash extensions, those expensive keratin treatments she used to say were ridiculous wastes of money. We'd been together 3 years, lived together for 1. Kendra, 27, worked part-time at a boutique while building her influencer brand. I worked IT support, decent salary, nothing fancy. We split bills proportionally. I covered about 70% since I made more. Tuesday evening, she's unboxing another package. Louboutin heels, red soles gleaming. Me nice shoes, special occasion? Not looking up from her phone. Just felt like treating myself. Those are like $800 shoes. So, I work hard. Your last paycheck was $900. That's when she looked up. That cold, dismissive look that had been creeping in lately. Why are you pocket watching? So unattractive. Me? I'm not. Just curious how you're affording all this lately. The bracelet, the bag, now shoes. Standing up, defensive. My friends appreciate my content. They send gifts. It's called networking. Friends? Which friends? You wouldn't know them. They're from my online community. Successful people who actually support each other instead of questioning every little thing. Me, male friends? She laughed. That mean laugh. And there it is, the jealousy. You know what, Adrian? Maybe if you made better money, I wouldn't need generous friends, but you're too poor for me anyway. Too poor? I pay most of our bills. Barely. I have standards, goals. I'm not going to apologize for leveling up just because you're stuck at the same mediocre job. She grabbed her new shoes and stalked off. Posted an Instagram story 10 minutes later. Her in the shoes, caption, "Surround yourself with people who match your ambition." That night, I couldn't sleep, did some math. In the last month, she'd acquired roughly $5,000 worth of stuff. Her online friends were that generous? Next day, she was at the boutique. I worked from home Wednesdays. Noticed her laptop open on the dining table, screen asleep, not locked. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. WhatsApp web was open. Conversation with Richard at the top. "Loved seeing you in that bracelet, baby. Tuesday work for our usual?" "Yes, daddy. Same hotel?" "Booked the suite. Wear the red dress I bought you." "Can't wait. Transfer cleared, Batawu. You're the best." My stomach dropped. Scrolled up. Months of messages, arrangements, prices, $500 for dinner, $1,000 for overnight. Allowance discussions. Found 3 other similar chats. Different men, different days. She wasn't just cheating, she was escorting. While I paid majority of our bills, she was selling time to sugar daddies and calling me too poor. Took photos of everything with my phone. Felt numb. She came home that evening with takeout from an expensive place. Kendra got us dinner, that new French place. Thought that was out of our budget? Eye roll. It's out of your budget. I got it covered. Right, you're generous friends. Exactly. See how nice life is when you stop being negative? Watched her eat $60 worth of food like nothing. Typed a text under the table to my buddy who worked in banking. Me, hey, hypothetical question. If someone's receiving large regular cash transfers from multiple sources, what happens? Buddy, depends. Over 10K gets reported. Multiple structured deposits to avoid reporting? That's suspicious activity. Banks flag it, report to FinCEN. Why? Me just curious, saw something on Reddit. That night, Kendra showered. I made a decision. Went to her laptop again. This time, I had a plan. Found her Cash App, Venmo, Zelle histories. Screenshot everything. Multiple transfers, always just under $10. Different names, regular patterns, classic structuring to avoid reporting requirements. Also found something interesting. She'd been lying on her taxes. Claimed she made $15 last year from the boutique. Based on these transfers, she made at least $60 from her friends. Unreported income. Friday morning, she left for a photo shoot. I called in sick, had work to do. First, the IRS. They have a whistleblower form, Form 211, filled it out meticulously, attached all evidence of unreported income, estimated tax loss to the government, even included her social media showing the lifestyle clearly exceeding her reported income. Second, reached out to her bank. Didn't accuse directly, just concerned citizen. "Hi, I've noticed suspicious activity that might indicate structuring. Multiple cash deposits just under reporting limits into account ending in last 4 digits. Thought you should investigate. Third, found the wives. Took some digging, but social media made it easier. Richard was Richard Thornton, married 20 years to Patricia, sent her an anonymous message with screenshots, did the same for the other 2 married ones. Then I waited. Tuesday came, her usual with Richard. She left at noon in the red dress. At 2 p.m. got a text from her. Kendra, what did you do? Me. At work. What's wrong? Richard's wife showed up at the hotel. Security had to get involved. She had screenshots. That's crazy. You okay? This is you, I know it. I'm literally in a meeting. How would I even know where you were? She called 17 times. I didn't answer. Texted that I was in back-to-back meetings. By evening, her Cash App was frozen. Got a notification, account restricted pending review. She came home raging. Kendra, my Cash App isn't working. This is your doing. Me, how would I control Cash App? Maybe it's a glitch. Don't play dumb. First Patricia, now this. Who's Patricia? She caught herself. Almost admitted everything. Kendra, nobody. Never mind. This is just stressful. Me, maybe take a bath. Relax. Update 1. 1 week later. The dominoes fell fast. Wednesday, Venmo frozen too. Then Zelle, all pending security review. She couldn't access nearly 8 callers across the platforms. Thursday, got a call from our apartment complex. Kendra was trying to add someone named Richard to the lease without my knowledge. Shot that down real quick. Manager confirmed both tenants need to agree to any changes. Friday, the other wives had done their damage. Saw on Facebook that Richard was taking time to focus on family. Code 4, wife kicked him out and lawyered up. The other sugar daddies went radio silent. But Kendra doubled down on entitlement. Saturday morning, I wake up to her on the phone with her mom. Kendra, Mom, Adrian is financially abusing me. He somehow froze my money. No, it's my money. I earned it. No, not from the boutique. She had to explain the whole situation to her mother, the woman who raised her with Christian values. That conversation ended with her mom crying and hanging up. Kendra to me, happy now? You turned my mom against me. Me how? I haven't talked to your mom. Kendra, you're sabotaging my life. Those accounts are my money. Then call the banks, explain where it came from. I'm sure they'll understand. She threw a shoe at me. Missed. Monday came with a new surprise. Letter from the IRS. Not for her, for me. Requesting information about a tax fraud report I'd submitted. Asked for any additional documentation. I'd kept copies of everything. Sent it all. Every screenshot, every deposit, every luxury purchase posted on Instagram with dates matching deposits. Kendra saw the envelope. Kendra, you reported me to the IRS? That's illegal. Me, reporting tax fraud is actually encouraged. There's even a potential whistleblower reward if they collect. I'll sue you. This is harassment, invasion of privacy. Good luck explaining to a judge why you hid $60 in income while calling me too poor. Tuesday, she tried a new approach. Came home with tears, not anger. Baby, please. I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. Can we please just fix this? Fix what? Your frozen accounts? Your tax problems? Your sugar daddy's wives? I made mistakes, but we can work through this. Remember our good times? Me, you mean when you were lying to me? Or when you called me too poor for you? The tears dried up instantly. Fine. You want to be petty? I'll show everyone who you really are. Controlling, abusive, threatened by a woman making her own money. Making your own money typically involves paying taxes on it. She started her social media campaign that night. Posts about financial abuse in relationships and men who can't handle successful women. Problem was, her engagement tanked. Turns out Richard and the others were major followers, supporters. Without their likes and comments, her influencer status crumbled. Wednesday brought the best karma. Got a text from an unknown number. Is this Adrian? This is Patricia Thornton. Thank you for the information about my husband and Kendra. My lawyer says the evidence you provided will be very helpful in my divorce. I thought you should know, Richard has been cut off from all accounts. He won't be sending any more gifts. Showed Kendra the text. Kendra, you destroyed his marriage? No, you both did that. I just provided transparency. She locked herself in the bedroom, frantically calling her other sugar daddies. Based on the yelling, none were answering. Update 2. 3 weeks later. The IRS works faster than you'd think when fraud is well documented. Official audit notice arrived. They wanted records for the last 3 years. Every deposit, every expense, every gift. The penalties and interest alone would destroy her. Kendra hired a lawyer with money she begged from her dad. Lawyer took one look at the evidence and basically said she was screwed. Best case, payment plan for the next decade. Worst case, criminal charges for tax evasion. But the entitlement didn't stop. If anything, it escalated. Found out she'd been telling people I was abusive. That I trapped her into sex work by not providing enough. Some of her boutique friends actually believed it until I showed them our rent split, 70-30 in her favor, and her messages calling me too poor. She tried to break my gaming setup accidentally, knocked over my coffee onto my PS5. Thank God for warranties. Started bringing random guys home. New friends, who'd leer at me while she hung on them, trying to make me jealous or leave. Me, your new sugar daddy? No. Unlike you, Trevor appreciates me without wanting transactions. Trevor looked uncomfortable, probably because she'd already hinted about him helping with bills. The best part? Her influencer career officially died. Brands started pulling back when her engagement tanked. One company even asked for their PR package back after the tax fraud news hit her social circle. Then came the nuclear option. Thursday, she filed a restraining order request. Claimed I was harassing her, stalking her finances, making her feel unsafe. Court date set for Monday. She smirked as she handed me the papers. Kendra, let's see you explain your creepy behavior to a judge. Me, looking forward to it. Spent the weekend preparing. Every text where she admitted the money was from sugar daddies. Every threat she'd made. Every time she called me too poor. Even had video from our doorbell cam of her throwing things at me. Monday. Court. Judge reviewed her filing. Then my response with evidence. Judge, Miss Williams, you claim Mr. Martinez has been harassing you about your finances? Yes, he reported me to the IRS, contacted my friends. According to these texts, you were hiding income. Is that harassment or civic duty? He invaded my privacy. Did he access your devices without permission? Quiet. The laptop was open. So you left evidence of tax fraud visible and you're upset he reported it? Her lawyer tried to pivot to emotional abuse. I showed texts of her calling me too poor and mediocre. Miss Williams, this appears to be retaliation for legal consequences of your own actions. Petition denied. And ma'am, pay your taxes. Walking out, she hissed. This isn't over. Me, actually it is. You've got 30 days to find a new place. See, while she was focused on court, I'd given notice to our landlord. Lease was month to month. Only needed one tenant's notice to terminate. Kendra, you can't kick me out. Not kicking you out. Ending the lease. I already signed a new place. You should probably focus on finding roommates. Doubt you can afford your own place now. The meltdown was epic. Security had to escort her out of the courthouse. Final update, 2 months later. Last update because it's finally over. Kendra had to move back with her parents. The shame of explaining why broke her dad. Christian minister whose daughter was a sugar baby who didn't pay taxes. The IRS hit her with $47,000 in back taxes, penalties and interest. She had to liquidate everything. The Cartier, the Balenciaga, the Louboutins. Still barely made a dent. Richard's divorce cost him everything. His wife Patricia actually sent me a thank you card with a Starbucks gift card. Classy lady. The other sugar daddies disappeared completely. Turns out having your side arrangement exposed is bad for business. Kendra tried one last manipulation. Showed up at my new place, crying. I'm pregnant. Me, congratulations. Who's the father? It's yours. We haven't had sex in 2 months. Try again. I mean, I think it's yours. Me, cool. Let's do a paternity test. I'll even pay for it. She left, blocked me on everything. Found out later there was no pregnancy. Just a final desperate play. Her Instagram bio now reads, Rebuilding, with 127 followers, down from 15K. Posts motivational quotes about rising from betrayal that get 6 likes. Meanwhile, I'm doing great. New apartments closer to work. Started dating a teacher who actually appreciates dinner at normal restaurants. She even insists on splitting checks. Funny thing about Kendra calling me too poor. I had plenty of money. Just wasn't spending it on designer goods while committing tax fraud. Sometimes I get messages from guys asking if I really ruined Kendra's life. I always respond the same way. I didn't ruin anything. I just reported unreported income to the appropriate authorities after being told I was too poor. The IRS did the rest. The moral? If you're going to call someone too poor while taking their money and evading taxes, maybe make sure they don't have access to your WhatsApp. Or just pay your taxes and don't be a terrible person. But what do I know? I'm just a mediocre IT guy who's apparently too poor for the sugar baby lifestyle. Good riddance, Kendra. Hope those red-soled shoes were worth it.